E adesso c'è Veronica Kirin, who will be speaking in English, but I'm sure it's no problem for most of you, right? She's coming from, she lives in Berlin, but she's actually American, so she's chosen Europe to be her home. And she will talk about how to build your own empire, how your business can grow, because she feels, when we spoke, she feels that women sometimes they're not enough strong and not enough, they don't believe in themselves the way they should when they feel they wanna build their own business. So over to you, Veronica. Welcome to our stage. Welcome to Italy and Bologna. A warm round of applause for you.
I couldn't get out of bed. It felt like there was 100 kilos of bricks laying on my chest. It was a typical Monday morning. I had client meetings, research for my book, tasks to execute, projects to manage, people to meet. I didn't want to do it. I thought maybe if I stayed in bed and pulled the covers up over my head, it would all go away, like the monster in the closet when we were little. I was 3 years into running my tech company, and I was burnt out. The thing was, it looked really good from the outside. I was getting awards, press coverage, I was well known in my community, but inside, I was drowning. I felt like I had been tricked. I thought that business was a path to freedom. I thought that running a business meant that I would have more peace, greater income potential, greater opportunities, and I could serve my community. And it felt like I had been lied to. I didn't feel any of that at all. I looked to my colleagues and wondered, were they feeling what I felt? Were they working 70-hour weeks? Were they panicking all the time? Were they happy? I had a mentor at the time. His name was Seth. The thing was, he was a startup coach, but I was running a small business. It was just happenstance that he ended up being my mentor. I felt like I was holding on by one finger on a cliff, and I wasn't ready to let go of my dream. And so I asked him for one more meeting, just to see if there was something I was missing. What he told me changed my life. You need to scale. But remember, Seth was a startup coach, and I was running a small business. I didn't think small businesses were meant to scale. I thought scaling was for CEOs of large corporations or startups getting million-dollar injections of funds, not for a solopreneur. But I was holding on by one finger, and I didn't want to give up of what I believed in, and so I thought I would try. I went home, and over the next year, I started hacking the scaling code, and my life completely changed. I went from working 70-hour weeks to 10-hour weeks. I started making more money than I ever had in my life. I could breathe again. This is how I did it. First, I had to get honest with myself. I had a tendency to tinker. It made me feel like I was in control. I could go onto the website and change the copy a little bit, see what was happening on social media, and maybe change the messaging, come up with a new program for my clients to see if they would stick around a little longer. It made me feel like I was in control, but it really wasn't serving my business. Does anyone else know what I'm talking about? The 80-20 principle says that 80% of our income comes from 20% of the work that we do. I had to let go of some things. And as I did, I got a little bit more freedom back. Just a little. But there was so much more work to be done. And so next, I began to automate. The thing was, I thought that I was doing my clients a favor by being high touch. I thought that by giving them all my extra time, that would differentiate the business from our competitors. What I was really doing was wasting my time and wasting my clients' time. I didn't know that technology had improved so much that it could do it for me. In fact, it could make me money while I slept, but I could customize it so well that my clients felt like they were truly being served by me. As a result of automation, I was able to be back in control of my business. I could stay in bed even if I really wasn't feeling well, and my business could keep running. I could take a break and my business wouldn't break. But as you probably know, automation can't do everything in a business. Some things really do need a personal touch. That's where systems came in. I, again, had been spending so much time in my business because I wanted to be creative and innovative. I really believed in what we were doing, and I thought maybe I could continue to reinvent the wheel and make it better every single day. But what was really happening was every single day, I was working to reinvent what I'd already done, and I was exhausted. It feels easy to go work for someone else because they already have the systems laid out for you. We go to work, we take action as we are taught, and then we can leave. But I was constantly doing it over and over and over. As I began to systemize, my business started to run smoother. And because the business was running smoother, we started getting more referrals. And my income again went up. But I also discovered something I didn't expect. I could study my business in a way I'd never done before. Sure, we hear, study the metrics, look at the numbers, but what about the things that aren't necessarily numbers-based? Creating your systems and documenting them and then following them step by step means that you can start to find the gaps that are specific to your business. It means you can innovate where it actually matters, but specific to your business, not what some online guru says. At this point, I was feeling pretty good. My time exposure in the business had been greatly reduced. I felt like I could start to breathe again. I was even excited to go into the office to see my colleagues. But there was still a problem. I was doing all of the client work. And that meant the business could only grow as big as what I could take on. And like you, I have really big dreams. It was time for me to hire, something I never thought that I wanted to do. Now, I admit, at first, I didn't do so good, but I learned. I started by outsourcing the things that I didn't like so much, but were still value adds for the clients. Once I got the hang of it, I then began hiring for the bigger stuff, some of the things that I thought I couldn't hire out because, well, I had special snowflake syndrome. I thought I was the only one who could do it my way. Turns out I built a team that could do everything better than me. At this point, things were really great. I had gone from working 70 hours a week to 10 hours a week. My income had gone through the roof. My stress had gone through the floor. I was able to travel the world while my business worked for me. My business had become so easy and so good that I attracted a buyer, something that's rare for a woman in her 20s. I decided to sell because even though the business had gotten easy, I wanted to teach other small business owners like you how to do what I had done so that you could have more freedom, more impact, more peace, and of course, more income. If you do what I did and follow these steps, you and your business will truly thrive. And I'm here to help. The QR code will take you to my International Scaling Academy, but if you find me afterwards, I have a complimentary month for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? You know, we don't have time for questions, but I think it's worth asking a question. Someone takes courage and asks the question in English? Yes. Well, she lives in London, so.
I just wanted to ask you your story. So first of all, thank you for sharing the story. It's amazing. I just wanted to ask you, what did you learn about yourself you didn't know going through the journey? And what learning can you share in terms of leadership and understanding of yourself with us? Thank you.
Fabulous question. So what did I learn about myself? I learned what I really had the capacity to do. I think when we start businesses, we start to realize, oh my gosh, I'm so powerful. I can fulfill all my dreams. I can do anything. And then you start doing everything. And I think especially us women, we have a tendency to multitask and try to take on the world all at once. And we've got that power. But if you do it all at the same time, you can go to burnout really fast. And so I learned how to stack my ideas, and that's what I also work with my clients on, so that you can do everything you want to do in your life, but you put it in a particular order so that it leads to greater and greater things and more empowerment, and of course, your dreams.
Thank you. Thank you, Veronica. Thanks a lot.